In today's video, I will be showing you how to set up a custom GUI in Minecraft using DeluxeMenus. This plugin is 100% free, easy to use, and today I will show you exactly how it works. Before we start, do make sure to subscribe to my channel. You would really help me out by doing that. You actually would. And then without any further ado, let's dive right into this. This video is sponsored by Phoenix Plugins. They have made some amazing plugins like Phoenix Crates and Phoenix Lobby, as well as some awesome looking model packs. And soon they will be releasing a brand new plugin. Make sure to check them out through the link in the description and use code CASASORA for a 15% off your order. Now with that being said, it is time for DeluxeMenus. So the first thing you will need to do is click on the link in the description of this video and download DeluxeMenus. Like mentioned before, the plugin is 100% free, and even though it has only been tested all the way up to 1.19, I can assure you it works for 1.22. Besides that, you also want to download Placeholder API. This plugin is also 100% free, and it basically allows all the placeholders that DeluxeMenus uses to function properly. If you've never heard about Placeholder API before and don't know what it is and how it works, I actually made a tutorial about it, and I will leave a card on this video so you can check it out for yourself. Simply download them both and drag them into the plugins folder of your Minecraft server. After that, execute a simple restart and then you will be ready to go. So now in game, when I type /d menu help, you will see all the commands. So we got dm open, dm list, dm execute, and dm reload. So when I do /dm list, you can see all the menus currently added to this server. So we got an advanced menu, a basic menu, and a requirements menu. Now to open the basics menu, you can see we simply have to execute the command /basics menu. So let's do exactly that, /basics menu, press enter, and there we go. This menu was created using this plugin. Now over here it says this is a special stone, test 1, test 2, test 3. Let's see if something happens when I click on there, and absolutely nothing happens. Wow, great menu! Though when we type /advanced menu, you can see this one is way more interesting. So you actually heard a sound when we opened it. You also see a very cool customized title, a whole line of glass panes. Then over here you will see an example kit unavailable. This kit is on cooldown. You must wait this placeholder amount of time before you can use this kit again. Now I've not downloaded any placeholders yet using Placeholder API, which is why this placeholder is not showing up. So let's execute the command /papi ecloud download essentials. Let's press enter, then papi reload. And when we now go back into the menu, you can see the placeholder actually works. Now the kit name is still invalid because we don't have an example kit at all. But of course you can also customize all of that in the config. And then over here it says that we need a specific permission before we can actually view this item. Left click to close the menu. Let's left click, and indeed it does close the menu. It even sends a message to let us know. So those are two of the menus included with this plugin. But of course you can customize them yourself. Now all the GUI creation, editing and customization needs to be done in the config files. You can do anything in game, unfortunately, but I got to say the config files are pretty easy to understand. So let's dive right into those and let me show you how you can create a menu of your own. So make sure to go to your Minecraft server folder, then look for the plugins folder. Inside of there should be a folder called DeluxeMenus. Let's click on there, and then over here you will see the config and the GUI menus. Now the config is not that interesting, and there's only one thing we actually need to change here, which is after we've created the menu, we need to add it inside of this file. So for now we're going into the GUI menus folder, and let's open advancedmenu.yml. So over here you will see how a menu is actually created. So over here, menu title, you can of course completely customize this. You can let it say whatever you want. Then over here you got the open commands. So what are the commands a player can execute for this menu to actually open? This is the command that we used in game just a minute ago, though these two commands here will also work. Then on line 8 we got open commands. So these are basically actions that will happen as soon as you open the menu. So these are the two things that will happen. A sound will play, which is that beacon activation sound we heard as soon as I opened that menu. And also it will send a message in chat. So these are all the different action types that DeluxeMenus supports. There are actually a lot of them. So you can execute a command as a player, you can also execute a command from the console, you can send a message, send a broadcast across the server. You also got a connect action, which for example you can use if you want to make a server selector. So this allows players to connect to another server on bungee cord. There's also an open GUI menu action, which can be really handy. So this one opens another GUI from DeluxeMenus. So if you want one menu to be able to open another menu, for example, you want to make some kind of main menu and from there people will be able to open multiple smaller menus, then with the open GUI menu action you can do that. Then we got close, we got refresh, then we got sound, which was used inside of that example GUI. Then we got take money and give money. So this basically allows you to create a shop. It does warn you that you will need to install Vault, otherwise this action will not work. So I will leave a link to the Vault plugin in the description of this video too. So if you got plans for making a shop, you actually can. But yeah, with these two actions you could create a whole shop system. We also got take XP, give XP, and even give permission note. So you could, for example, sell a fly permission in-game for in-game money. Which, I mean, I can see some people want that. That's a pretty cool feature. By the way, I will leave a link to this page in the description as well, so you can check out these actions and all the permissions and comments for yourself. Now back in the config, we got the size. So this will actually be the size of the inventory. Every single inventory row in Minecraft is 9. So if we would put 9 here, then the inventory would only have a single line. 18 would be 2 lines, 27 would be 3 lines, 36 would be 4 lines, and the list goes on. Next, we got the open requirements. So what does the player need to do, or what does the player need to have to be able to open this menu? Currently, it is set to has permission, and this is the permission the player needs. So as soon as the player has this permission, through something like, for example, luck perms, they will be able to open the menu. Now, if you don't know what luck perms is, or how it works, or how permissions work in general, I will leave a card on this video straight to my luck perms tutorial, where I will tell you everything you will need to know about that plugin. But if you don't want to use the has permission requirement, you can also use has money, so that the player will need to have a specific amount of money before they can open the menu. Another requirement option is has item. We got has meta, has XP, is near. You can even do stuff with JavaScript. There are a lot of options here. Then scrolling further down, we get the items. So these are the items that will actually appear inside of the menu. So this is the first item. It is called example. The material type is a lime dye. The slot it will be in is slot 11. So that is very important to remember. So back in game, this is slot 11. So one row in Minecraft is 9, but the slot count actually starts at 0. So this is slot 0. This will be slot 8, 9, 10, 11. Important to know, important to remember, otherwise you will start misplacing stuff. So you can specify the material. In this case, the material is lime dye. But you might recall that in game, it didn't look like a lime dye at all. That is because it wasn't. It was a gray one. And the reason for that is that we did not meet the requirements. So the priority of the lime dye item is 1. But we did not meet the view requirements. Because of that, this is the item that we saw. So like you can see, this is the gray dye. And this one has a priority of 2. Now, because of the priority of 2, that means that the priority is lower than this one. But because we didn't meet the requirements, we actually saw the lower priority one. Because the only requirement to see this one is having this permission, which I did give to myself. Now, of course, you can also set the display name. You can change the lore of the item. And over here, you will also be able to change the left click command. So what will happen when a player left clicks on the item? In this case, a command will be executed from the player, and that command is kit example. Now, because it says player here, that means that it will be executed as the player. So if the player does not have permission to get this kit, he won't get it. If you want players to be able to get this kit even if they don't have permissions, you will have to change player into console. And then the action after that is close, basically closing down the menu. Now, those are the basics on how a menu works. The problem is that I have no clue what type of menu you want to create. create. Because there are so many different things you can do with this plugin. They literally give you the tools like, hey, here you go. Here you got all the actions. Here you got the tools to create a menu of your own. Now go and make a menu. So I can show you every single type of menu that can possibly be created using this plugin. That just would be impossible. Though I will be showing you how to create a new menu and how to actually add it to your game. So what we will be doing is exiting this file and going back to the GUI menus folder. Over here you can see all 3 menus currently in the game. We could either create a brand new file and start all the way from scratch, or we can copy one of these files and then start editing from there. I would actually highly recommend the second option. It is so much easier. Just make it easy for yourself. Why not? It doesn't need to be complicated. So the advanced menu, the one we were just in, I'm simply gonna copy it. There we go. And now I can rename it to something like Epic Menu. So here we go. New menu has been created. Now when we go in there, we can start customizing the title. So I can, for example, change the title to Epic Menu made by Kasai Sora. So this text will all be in gold, and then this will be purple. Why not? Then the open menu command, I'm gonna remove all of these, and this one I'm gonna change to Epic. The sound is currently set to block beacon activate. And here we got a list of all the different sounds possible in Minecraft. I won't be able to show you this full page because it is so much. There's so many different sound effects inside of Minecraft. Any type of sound you hear in game, you will be able to use when opening a menu. So I will leave a link to this page in the description as well, so you can check it out for yourself. I'm just gonna choose a random one. Let's go for Entity Spider Herd. So here we go. We're gonna replace this with Entity Spider Herd. Just like that. Then we got the opening message. We can just change it to something like, hello there. The open requirement, I will keep the same. I think this one is for sure the handiest and the one that most people will use. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this whole part. So I don't need a second item. I don't want that at all. So I'm just gonna delete it. There we go. And this item material, I'm gonna change into a diamond. And the slot I will be changing as well. So this over here is slot 11. I want to make sure it is in the middle. So there will not be 11, not 12, but 13. So there we go. We're going to change the slot to 13. The display name I'm going to change to Creative, because I'm gonna make a diamond which will set you to game mode creative. Now I will make it so that the player doesn't need any permission to be able to do this. So they don't actually need the creative permission. Let's just allow everyone to go to creative. Why not? I mean, nothing can go wrong, right? So the lore I'm gonna change as well. It is gonna be click for creative mode. Then over here we got the view requirements, and I'm just gonna delete this completely. So that is something that you will actually be able to do with this plugin. If you don't want a certain setting or a certain option, just delete it from the config. Then over here we got the left click command. If you want, you can also change the left click command to a general click command or a right click command. You even got a middle click command, which means clicking with your middle mouse button. And there's also a shift left click command. Now quick warning, middle clicking was removed by Mojang in 1.18. So if you're planning to use this in a newer version of Minecraft, then ignore the middle click command. Now I'm gonna keep it to left click command, but what I am gonna change is the command itself. So instead of player, I want a console to execute this one. And instead of the command kit example, it should be game mode creative. Now here at the bottom, we got the filler item. So this is basically an item without any lore, without any name, without any priority. The only thing it has is a material and a slot. So I basically want the whole top and bottom row of this GUI to be filled with glass panes. Now we could in theory put every single number here, or to make it easier, we're just gonna delete all of this. And then over here I'm gonna type 0, then one of those minus symbols, and then 8. So this will fill gray stained glass pane in all the slots from 0 till 8, which is the whole top row. And then for the bottom row, it is gonna be 18 until 27. There we go. Now there's one thing at the left click commands I actually forgot to add. So over here where it says console game mode creative, we need to specify the player, because otherwise the console doesn't know which player it needs to set to creative. So to do that, we're simply gonna use the placeholder API placeholder for a player name, which is %player name %. So now we're simply gonna save this file and then go back to the GUI menus folder. Now over here you need to check the name. So the name we gave it is epicmenu.yml. You will need to remember that. Then we're going back once more to the DeluxeMenus folder, and over here we're now finally gonna visit the config.yml. And inside of there you will see all GUI menus. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our own menu to here. So I'm simply gonna copy this, press enter, and then we're gonna replace this with epic menu, just like that, and the file name will also be epic menu. Just like that. Now there's one more thing we need to do, and that is make sure that the player placeholder actually works. So to do that, we're gonna type PAPI eCloud, download, and then we're gonna download the player pack. So this is the command you want to execute. Simply press enter. It will say that it has successfully downloaded the expansion, and then we just want to type PAPI reload, and there we go. The placeholder is now active. So now what we can do is simply type /epic. Like you can hear, we have the spider sound. The message hello there is also popping up in chat. We got the cool customized title, which says epic menu made by Casasora. Then we got the menu with 27 slots, where the top and bottom rows are all completely filled with glass panes. And then there's one diamond in the middle, which says creative. Click for creative mode. And when we click on there, you can see I'm now inside of game mode creative. There we go. Our menu works perfectly. And then guys, that's gonna be it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you do have any more questions, make sure to leave them in the comments or join my Discord server. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You would really help me out by doing that. You actually would. And then I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.